All right, divas, queens, let's talk about money. And I am going to talk to you about the illusion of wealth. And then we're also going to talk about the 3D versus the 5D and how to manifest more now. Okay, y'all ready? It's going to be so good. So let's talk about like the illusion of wealth in the 3D world. And this is how you're going to shift into your most abundant, most abundant financial reality ever. And when we think about it, you're conditioned to stress about debt and all of those things, when the truth is a lot of the conditioning, we've been conditioned to fear a lot of things that people are spending, like have all of their illusion built around. So let me just get to it because it is so interesting. And I've been having this conversation with my sister and my dad. And I was like, oh my God, I need to have this conversation with you. So let's talk about the biggest wealth illusion of them all. The so called billionaires that are running this world. What I need you to understand is that most of this isn't because they created like this amazing stuff. And a lot of it is usually the tech bros. But what if you knew that they aren't really that rich? Like, based on what they have, it's more of an illusion and it's more of rich on paper. How many of you know that? How many of you have heard that? How many of you realize that we associate or sometimes we look up to all of these people because they have this amount of money, but they don't actually have the money? It's actually just on paper. So I'm going to give you an example. Elon Musk, right? Everybody loves to act like he's some kind of genius, right? But this man, he didn't invent Tesla. He bought into it, right? He didn't invent PayPal, bought into it. And yet he's walking around like he's like Tony Stark. Y'all know who Tony Stark is? From Iron Man, who invented all those things and was so wealthy. His wealth is based on paper. And so his most of his net worth is based on the Tesla stock price. And so if you look at Tesla, if you really value Tesla based on it being a car company, not a tech company, because it is a car company, it is not a tech company, the stock would be $14 a share, not 200 plus. I want to let that link and land. What happens when you reduce the stock price to what it should be versus $200 of 400,000 shares to $14? What happens? His wealth would disappear in a second, not a day, a second. Yeah, it disappears. Like, it doesn't even decrease. It disappears because it was never real in the first place. And the stock market is starting to adjust itself because it was never real money and it was overvalued. A lot of these companies are way overvalued. That's how the oligarchy keeps its power, by overvaluing. We're going to talk about real billionaires because there are some, but it's not liquid money. Most of them, everything that they've bought, the houses, everything is from borrowing against the shares. Like, I hope this like opens your, it's all debt. And then government contracts, debt and government contracts, which go to the company, not to him. It's just, it's not real. And so if Tesla stock was reevaluated, which a lot of Wall Street is looking at the stock because they're like, maybe it's not as valued, like it should be valued more close to Toyota versus to Apple, right? And so if they just decide, let's do a market correction, then what would happen to Starlink and Twitter? And no, I'm not going to use it to call it the other stupid name. They would call his debt and he wouldn't have any cash because he can't like sell the stock. which is why Elon's brother sold a lot. He sold about 20, was it 20 million or $20 billion of Tesla stock like a couple of days ago. So when the Tesla stock drops, they would call his debts and then he would have nothing. He would be bankrupt. So all of this feeling that we're like, so like, first of all, you're terrified of debt on yourself. Like, I'm not trying to get anybody into debt, but I'm just saying you've been conditioned to believe that debt is bad. I have so many clients that are like, oh my God, I'm going to pay this $20,000 of debt. And I'm like, girl, you're going to be all right. We have certain people that live their lives on a whole bunch of debt, but they acting like they have all this money because they have this fake stock that's not even real. It's crazy. But here's the truth. They're not playing by the same rules that you've been taught. It's like the whole system is basically a scam. And when you see that, you can't unsee it, and you stop absorbing the fear. You stop believing that they know more than you, that they're smarter than you, and you stop acting like money is like some scarce resource, right? You realize that I can pull money out of my ass. Now, there are real billionaires, people that you should look at what they're doing with the market. Warren Buffett, he took almost all of his money out of the stock market. He's been doing it for the last 2 years. His company is almost all cash because he was reading the signs. So if you see Warren Buffett starting to move money out, I think you start looking and being like, oh, maybe I'm going to move some money out too. And then you have other people that are billionaires like Taylor Swift, who created her $1 billion fortune on her talent, on something that's actually real, right? So her talent, her music catalog, her companies, like those type of things. And so if you were going to, there was a story I was going to tell that I really want to tell, and now I don't remember. Oh. So anytime you start to feel guilty about where you are, I want you to ask yourself this month, because this month of March, right now, we're talking about more money March. It's usually more money May. We're pulling up more money May, making it more money March. But even if you're listening to this and it's like February or August or April, it doesn't matter. If you were to take the next 30 days and really evaluate your thought process on money, how you're seeing debt, how you're looking at people that maybe make a little bit more than you, are you placing them on a pedestal? Are you pedestalizing people? Things like that. This is going to really revolutionize your experience with money. It's going to revolutionize how you experience money. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a story. There was a coach or mentor, pretty popular. Wasn't big at the time just yet. Went into a very popular Facebook group and told them, oh my God, I just manifested $50,000 very rapidly. I just manifested $50,000 so fast. It was just so quick, like in a week or a day or something like that. And she's like, do you want me to teach you how I did it? And so all of the people in that group, it was a manifestation group, were like, yes, please teach us. And so she's like, I'll give you a link. I'm going to charge $1,000 for it. And they were like, yes. So they all pay. She's got about 50 people in there. So when she starts to teach, she's like, I just manifested $50,000 by telling you guys I manifested $50,000. So I manifested this, and so now you're in the space. So I created my reality. How many of you guys, what do you feel about that? What is how does that sit in your soul? I know for me, it feels like manipulation. It feels like a lie. It feels like so low frequency and so low vibration. It is not what manifestation and that those teachings, it's not how that's to be used. It's so inauthentic. It's a lie. And it's very manipulative. And so before I recognized that, I would place people that were doing the work that I did on a pedestal and think because they were making so much money and they must be perfect because they're making this much money, you know? Like, oh, they must be better than me. They must know more than me. But that's not the case. And I want every one of you to know that is never the case. And when you can come back to your heart and just say, you know what, because I'm not judging that person. If that's the way they want to teach manifestation, if that's what they feel, that's how they want to lead people by lying and saying, I already manifested $50,000. And then when they come in to say, hey, I manifested it by telling you I manifested it. And that's what I was living, acting as if. That is not acting as if. That's straight up lying. But if that's the way she blew up her business and now has this huge group and she's making multiple millions, then that's what she needed to do. But I will tell you, don't look at everyone else's success and put that on a pedestal, because one, that just separates you from that success. Y'all know what I say. It puts a gap between you and that pedestal, right? You put it on a pedestal, but also do not put people and their earnings and whatever they're doing on a pedestal. It's like looking at Instagram and seeing all of these relationship goals and, oh, I want their relationship and I want that relationship and I want things that look like that. And then you're comparing yourself and thinking that you're less than or you don't have it. And you don't know what's going on behind the scenes of that. You're connecting to someone else's reality and you don't even know what's happening in that reality. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And I just want you to see that so that you stop putting other people and their success on this pedestal and just say, oh, that's interesting. Oh, wow, that she's created that business. That's showing me what's possible. And I know I can do it in my way, because your way, I know you guys, you're going to be authentic, you're going to be loving, you're going to be kind, and you're going to be doing it in a way from love. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So let's talk quickly about the future of money and how it's going to shift and change and why I moved Mo Money May to March. And it's because I hear a call, I feel a call for you to make the most money you've ever made in your entire life this month. This month gets to blow your mind. And it doesn't matter when you're listening to this month gets to blow your freaking mind. Yes, I see the hearts, I see the fire. Yes. So let's talk about it, right? I just told you why you get to kick the billionaires off of their pedestals. Y'all saw that? Yes. Kick the billionaires off the pedestals, because it's most of it is not even, it's illusion. It's billionaire by paper. It's a false number that they couldn't even call that stock number in, because that would lower the price of the stock themselves. So they got to borrow against paper. They're borrowing against it. So if money gets to be energy for them, why can't it be energy for you? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And the divine feminine has come up and she is roaring. Hecate, like goddess Isis, like all of the divine feminine is like, we are back and we get to use this money for the betterment of the world. And when you have that as your vision and your mission, money can't help but flood into your life. It can't help but flood your way. When you're like, when I rise, the whole world rises. Money's like, hey, I want to support your vision. I want to support you. I'm going to expand to support you. Come call me in. And so the shift is happening now. And this is going to, like, if you don't see the shift and you don't see how people are buying differently and you don't see how even your attitude and your belief about money gets to like, you get to drop away. I told you guys the story, and I believe it was in our Telegram group, right? I think I've told you about like King Leopold and how he wrote that letter to the Congo, the I guess, what are they called? Evangelists, the people that go to the other countries and try to preach. He wrote the letter, and I read it again the other day, and my sister and I were like, "Are you kidding me?" And it was saying we've got to teach the children that their reward is in heaven so that we can take the money. You found it, you saw it. It's like, so we can take the money, right? So we can take the jewels, so we can take the gold, so we can make it all on us. We're going to teach them that their reward is in heaven so that they think that wealth is bad. And so they couldn't get to the parents because the parents were like, well, we already believe in this. We already know the gospel. We already know this. We know that this is our wealth and this is our money. So you can't condition the parents, but they decided to teach the children so that they could get it into your DNA. They wouldn't like and they said, oh, if one of the Congolese comes into your to speak to you, do not let them sit down so they won't think that they're equal. These are all things that were like infused into collective consciousness. Money is good for us, but not for you. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And you're going to be like, yeah, I'm not buying that no more. How many of you are like, we're done with that story? Done, done, done. Yeah, yeah, done, done. And so this month gets to be the biggest financial month, the biggest financial shift, 10x, 2x, 3x, whatever you can believe that you've ever had this month. And it's going to be because you're going to move from 3D with money to 5D with money. So what does 3D money looks like? It looks like control, weaponized to take your power away, similar to what they did in that letter. Fear, lack, limitation, the yeah buts. How many of you have said yeah but? We're going to take an oath to say we're not going to say yeah but ever again. Yeah, but she's blonde. Yeah, but she's smart. Yeah, but she's gorgeous. Yeah, but she's had a bigger audience than me. Yeah, but she's been around for a long time. Yeah, but she's really pretty. Who cares? Who cares? No, yeah, but 11:22 on the timer. No, yeah, buts. Yeah, but is 3D. What you are going to do is you're going to decide that you no longer have to grind yourself to the bone to earn a little bit. You no longer have to hoard it because you're afraid that you'll never make it again. You no longer have to prove your worth so that you receive money. You're going to decide that you are no longer at risk of losing everything because I see this so often. My clients will start to make money and then they're like, well, what if I don't do it next week or next month? Or what if it goes all the way? What if no one buys? And I'm like, where is this coming from? This is coming from conditioning because you were made to believe that money was never going, like, couldn't come back. You make it, it's going to go away forever. It was programmed in you, but we are now, you can decide right now, you can say aloud, I'm done with that. We talked about this in God Frequency Decoded. I'm done. I decide we are done. Done with that. Okay, let me answer this. Who benefits if you believe that money is scarce? Who benefits if you are fighting over dollars? Who profits if you feel guilty for spending money on yourself? On something, you remember how I talked about that story about everything that I buy, everything that I invest in makes me money. Why? Because I'm only investing in the things that expand my frequency and like really lift my frequency. And so at the time when I had the other car, we won't say the name of it, but when I had the other car, when I invested in that, it made me feel so good. I felt so expanded. I felt so alive. It made me money. But who stays in power when you are afraid of your own financial power? That's you giving the power away to billionaires and banking systems and corporations and all those things who keep telling you, be smart with your money. while they're not stressing out about it at all. And so what you get to do is decide that you are already deciding, I am smart with money. I am brilliant with money. I don't care if yesterday you made some stupid choices with money. You get to be like, today, I decide today, right? What did I say? You decide and you are. I decide and I am. God frequency was so good, right? And so you get to decide, I leverage money, I move money, I circulate money, I receive money. Leverage, move, circulate, receive. Leverage, move, circulate, receive. It's like a circle. And you get to say, every time money goes out, it comes back 10 times more. Every time money goes out, it gets to come back 10 times more. So every time you use your credit card, every time you buy something, every time you do something, you get to be like, it coming back to me 10 times more. How does that feel? If everything you said, every month dollar, that penny, I don't know if we're going to use pennies anymore, but every penny, every nickel that goes out came back 10 times more, what would that look like? If you go back, this is an assignment. Go back, look at everything you spent in the last month, multiply that times 10 and say, you're coming back 10 times more. Imagine how that would feel. Tell me what that would feel like. Guess what? Money is never limited. It was never limited. It was never limited. And you no longer need to believe that anymore. There's no bakery, right? You're not in a bakery. You own the bakery. You can make as much bread as you want. It's no slices of pies. Because see, when you think you're in that 3D reality, you stay in jobs you hate because you can't afford to leave. Or you hold on to relationships. How many of y'all, some people have hold on to relationships or partnerships or friendships or situations that drain them because they are afraid. They feel guilty about wanting more because they were told that it's selfish to want more and other people are struggling, so you can't have more. Which is so crazy. It's like, I need to be sick because you're sick too. No, I need to pray for you. I need to send an energy your way. I need to have a check so I can pay for the doctor to help you. You don't have to be broke because somebody else is broke. None of y'all are broke. I know you guys are not broke, but you know what I mean. You get what I'm saying. Yes, you own the bakery. There is no bakery where we are all getting a slice of the pie. We make our own pies, and I can make as many pizza pies as I want. The divine feminine is rising and roaring, and that means that your pockets get to be filled to the brim, filled. So what does 5D, the fifth density, flow and abundance and limitless expansion feel like with money? Y'all want to know? When you are really in 5D money, you are no longer able to be controlled. And I don't know if you've heard this before, but the more money you make and the more it just starts to be easier. And then you start making more and more and more and more and more without even thinking about it because it's not a thought in your mind and you don't have that scarcity built into it. And so that's why in the beginning, I taught like receive, because when you can work that receiving money and you receive, it's like, oh, I know I can make money at the drop of a hand, right? How many of you played with that receiving? So then once you know how to receive, it's important to learn how to hold, right? And so you're like, I receive it and it doesn't all have to go out of the door. I'm going to show myself it's safe to have some sit there, look at it and just watch it grow. And then once you know that you can hold money and that you are safe to hold it and it has no power over you, so you're not like feeling the urge to spend it all, then what you can do, now you get to circulate. Because you know how to make it, you know how to hold it, and now you get to circulate. So it's building, it's creating interest, but you're also bought something that you absolutely love. And because you bought something that you absolutely love and your energy is rising, guess what? More money is coming and more money is coming and more money is coming. How do you, this is fun. So you learn how to receive. Then you get to hold it and really see it and watch it grow. And then you get to circulate and have some fun. When we are talking about 5D money, it's not something you earn, it's something you allow yourself to receive because money, it's ultimate goal, its only reason for being is to support your desires. Its only reason for being is to support your mission and your vision. And so all you have to do is stop clogging the pipe and allow yourself to receive. It's something that gets to flow like the ocean. I love to use that example of like when you are at the ocean and the ocean waves go out and then they come in, right? So the water comes in, let's say that's money, and then it goes out, but it leaves the ground wet. So all of the water didn't disappear, some of it stayed, right? And you're not afraid because you know that the ocean wave is going to come back. Even if it was a tsunami and it got pulled all the way back, it's going to come back. It's going to come back kind of scary, but it's going to come back. So what if you knew money was like the ocean waves? It always was going to come back and it's never going to leave you dry. Money is limitless. It is abundant. That's why, like, I remember back in the day when it used to be like a $3 billion debt and now the debt of the country, and it was like now it's trillions, right? We're talking about $1 trillion valuations. We never used to talk about that anymore. But what? It is expanding and expanding, just like the universe expanding, expanding, expanding. Wealth is never about numbers, it's always about your frequency. And that's what we're going to play with, frequency. And so when you're in scarcity consciousness, you're chasing. Yes, the wave, you're chasing money, fear in money, unworthy of money, all that stuff. And that repels wealth. But when you're in 5th D, right, the 5D money consciousness, you're like receiving money with ease. You know that wealth is always available because it is unlimited. And you hold the frequency. You know that whatever goes out comes back more. I played with this one time with one of my friends. Oh my goodness, this is so long ago because she was in Colorado. My goodness, this has to be like 10 years ago. So I told her, I said, when you go, I was like, every time, just say money goes out and comes back to me 2 times more. Money goes out and comes back to me 2 times more. So she was like, okay. And so she was walking, and there was a unhoused person, and they came up to her and asked her if she had money, and she looked and she was like, "Oh, I have a 20. I mean, a 10." She's like, "I have a 10." She's like, "You know what? Let me just give him the 10 because money goes out, it comes back 2 times more." And so she was like, "Here you go." And she was like, I send you prayers. And then that person was so grateful, like so grateful. So she walks around and then she goes to, I think it was like a restaurant or something, and she sits down and she sits at the table and there's a folded up $20 bill right there. Money came back to her 2 times more. And so she said, "Oh, this must be the tip for the waitress." She's like, "I don't want to steal a lady's tip, right?" So she calls the waitress over and she's like, "I think this might be your tip." And the lady's like, "No, no, I took the tip off the table already." And she was like, "Okay." So she put it in her dollar. Like that's how it gets to be. And we are in the stage of instant manifestation. And when you believe that you know that you are worthy, money gets to come to you 10 times more, that you get to blow your mind with the amount of money that you get to receive, that you are 5D money, then guess what gets to happen? It can happen instantly. It can happen quickly. It can happen like rapidly because instant manifestation is what's available to you. And so right now, the divine feminine is calling for massive amounts of money. And because women are meant to lead, that means the financial revolution that gets to happen for you. Women are meant to lead this. That means that the amount of money that gets to be in the hands of healers and and people that are heart centric and helping healers and helping these creative visionaries and these artists and people that are creative visionaries and artists that are raising the frequency of the vibration need to make more money than ever before. More money needs to be in your hand. Why? Because we rule with the circle, not the triangle. The ones who are meant to shift this world need the financial power to make this happen. And so what you get to say is you get to demand, declare, decide of the universe which is you. You are the universe. Universe is you. To support you, support your vision, support what you're doing, because you get to say, this is the mandate of the earth. The earth is rising in frequency and it needs us to help. And I'm here to help. And so I demand the money because we're still working in this same, right? We're working in a system that still depends on money. Oh, I'll answer that. So Lisa says, what do you mean rolling with the circle and not the triangle? Is the triangle the Illuminati? I don't really focus on the Illuminati. I kind of feel like that may be a little conspiracy theory, but you know, oligarchy, right? There's the shadow government, so maybe that's their name. But what I'm saying is that in the masculine structure, in the patriarchy, it's a triangle. And the triangle means that there's only a small few at the top and everyone else is at the bottom. With a matriarchal society, it's a circle. And so women, if you ever noticed it, women always worked in what, if we think back in the day, covens, it was more councils, it was more the person with the highest frequency is the person that's leading, yes, but they're all leading based on what's going to be best for everyone. And so that's what the divine feminine is bringing us towards, is a circle. And so that means we're thinking about, like, when you have $1 billion, do you guys remember this? I did a podcast and it was about why we need more women billionaires and why spiritual billionaires is what's going to happen. And I talked about Mackenzie Scott, who was formerly married to Jeff Bezos. And Elon Musk said women shouldn't have money because they waste it, because he was mad that she was taking the money that she had and she was funding Planned Parenthood. She was funding anything that was happening with women's bodies and rights. She decided, oh, okay, I'm going to fund that. And he didn't like that. He said women shouldn't have it because they don't know what to do with money. Okay. The same person that says people who are poor are parasites. Yeah. When he's the welfare baby and living off the government contracts, but that's okay. So what she did when he said that was not fighting back and forth with him. She had no time for that. She doubled down and gave twice the amount of money to those causes. That's what we need. That's the circle of leadership. That's saying, oh, you're going to take things away from people. Okay, I'm going to do it. And the same thing with Bloomberg. Bloomberg is another real billionaire. Like, he really has money. The World Health Organization, we pulled out last time in 2016. He said, what y'all need, I'll pay for it, because this is a very important organization. This year, again, we pull out of the World Health Organization. He says, let me write a check. How much is it going to take you to run for the next 4 years? That is circle. He's a man, but he was leading from thinking about the whole, not just the one. Let me know if that you're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay. All right. So let me be clear too about this financial structure thing. This isn't just about you doing good. This is about you being financially supported and so deeply wealthy that your life moves in overflow. What would that look like for you? Put it in the, like, if you were so deeply wealthy that overflow is just like overflowing, like you're about to be rich, rich, rich and resourced, rich and resourced. Build wealth that lasts. That's not just paper. That's not just because your stock price is overvalued by over $200. I'm talking about luxury, power, ease, because you are moving from your heart. That is what's happening. And so we're not talking about manifesting money. We're talking about rewiring your relationship with wealth. That's what we're going to do this month, so that wealth becomes just a natural extension of who you are. And when you do that, money stops becoming something that you work for. And it's just something that naturally shows up and keeps showing up and keeps showing up, because it is a vibrational match to you. Like that is the way it gets to be. So that you're like, you never even think twice about anything. You never ask money for permission ever, 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 ever again. Let's see. Kimber says, it would look like me having my own place for me and my girls. Yes, their college paid for with ease. Yes, gently used cars for my new driving daughters. Yes, 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 and yes. And so this month, you are going to make more money than ever before. Okay. So I want you to make more money than ever before, not because you need it, not because you're chasing it, but because you're done playing small when it comes to the dollars, when it comes to the dinero, when it comes to the dollar bills, or the euros, or the or the any, whatever your number, the rupees, whatever it is, you're done playing small. The reason why you are going to make the most money is because you've stepped out of the illusion. You're stepping into your wealth era, wealthy woman era, and you're deciding that money moves through you, for you, in your favor all the time. And so, what you are going to do, there's a whole challenge. Every day, you are going to tap into the feeling of overflow and abundance. I have an audio. I'm going to write my notes, note taker. Hopefully, the note taker is taking this, but I'm going to upload that audio of overflow, and you can listen to that every day. There is also an audio from Magic Money. It's such a good audio. It's 15 minutes and it's kind of breath work. You're breathing in and out. And every time you listen to it, you're releasing any resistance to receiving money. Okay. So I have those two audios ready and prepared for you. You are going to every day speak wealth into existence in your life. Because what? Because when you speak it, it is so. Right? Why? Because you are the divine diva, and that's a diva code. Your declaration, your decision, done. You're going to move with the certainty that money is already yours. The more you claim it, the more you know it is. Now, this doesn't mean you got to go spending things you don't have, buying the gently used cars right now, like all of that stuff. You don't have to do that right now. What I mean when I say moving as if knowing, not even as if knowing that you are wealth, what choices would you be making right now if you knew your pay in full client was like in the DMs typing a message to you about to hit send right now? How would you be walking? How would you be talking? What kind of conversations would you be having? So, what we're going to do right now is you are going to set a goal for the next 30 days. Not just any goal, a goal that does stretch you a little bit, that feels electric, that feels expansive, that feels like, yes, yummy, yummy, yummy. So you can drop that goal in the comment. And then number 2, I want you to pick a feeling that is associated with this goal. How does it feel to have a $20,000 month? Or how does it feel to have a $20,000 day? How does it feel? Oh my God, Tasha. That number is the number that I intended to receive today. $22,222.22. And I already have somebody in my DMs that's it's for $222.22, which is funny. So it's 22,000 left. So yes, I love it. Thank you for reflecting that back to me. So Let's see, your goal is so excited for a $30,000 month. The action is to apply on Upwork. Yes, the feeling feels satisfying and fun. Yes, satisfying and fun. I love those feelings. What about you? I think Tasha's was joy. I believe you're saying that you're going to really tap into that rooted, can't take my joy. And so, and then Kimber, leave one too. Carrie, leave us one. So if you are feeling like, I want you to pick that feeling and I want you to choose to really infuse this feeling into your everyday activity, everything that you're doing. Tap into, like, before you start something, get out of autopilot mode and tap into that feeling of joy. Tap into the feeling of satisfying and fun. Have more fun. Like, do the things that really align with that feeling. Okay. And so very simply, if I was saying, okay, $22,222 month, and right before I write a piece of content, like if I was a copywriter, I would just tap into joy. I would be like, joy. I'd pick a joyful song that would help, like something that's like joy. And it just makes you smile and feel the joy in your body. And then I would start writing. So that kind of thing could help you. If you find a song or something that you can listen to that gives you that feeling, do that and do it right before you do some work, like just to really allow you to anchor in that feeling as this is just who I am and this is just what I'm doing today. And then you'll start your day off, like get up before you put your feet on the floor and brush your teeth, or while you're brushing your teeth, play the song and really tap into it and just feel the joy in your body and really like make this intentional. Okay. And then number 3, I am going to talk about this in our next call, but sell more. Oh my God. I recently had a dream that I don't want to spoil it, but I will tell you guys about it next week. And it was about, like, I was so frustrated in that dream and I was like, what's going on? And the crux of the dream was I realized I wasn't selling enough. I was not selling enough. And I was like, oh my God, that's where that feeling was coming from. So, whatever you do, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you do contract work, if you're a coach or mentor, if you do, if you're an actress, if you do speaking engagements, if you're a copywriter, whatever it is, take how many times you think you're selling and multiply that times 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to multiply. I'm trying to sell 10 times a day. Haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm trying to do 10 different ways that I'm selling whatever I'm selling 10 times, just to push me and push me beyond that limit, like push myself. So like today, I'm recording 5 podcasts. They're all going to go out today. And then I'm going to do some video, some talking to screen video, and then some 7-second videos and just really sell. Tasha says, yes, it hits you like a ton of bricks. It really does. And when you feel like you want to, you have the pathways. And the reason why I'm telling you guys to sell more is because everything you've created, whether you're on Upwork or whether you're a copywriter or whether you do healing with Reiki and situations, or whether you do EFT, whatever, everything is helping this world. Everything is raising the vibration and everything is in service to this divine feminine rising. And so that means you get paid for it. That means that your work is of high service and deserves massive compensation. And it is ready for you to be like, I'm calling it in. I'm calling it in. And I want you to remember that this isn't just about hitting a number. It really is expanding into the version of you who commands wealth, not just dreams about it. And I mean real wealth, the one that like the one that it gets you to buy the house, you know, the one that pays the college off with a check, the one that buys the cars for the girls. And so I just want you to feel also in your body like what it feels like. Let's take 2 minutes. what it's going to feel like, or what it already feels like, because we're choosing to be the person in the quantum suit that already has the $22,222.22, whatever, the person that has the $30,000 month, right? The person that has the house and is just signing the papers because she paid the down payment and she did all the things and now she's about to buy the cars for the girls. How does that feel in your body? And I want to right now go feel it in your body and allow this feeling to just get bigger. So I today declared a $22,222.22 day. And I'm like, that gets to happen. Today gets to be this $22,000 day. I'm going to celebrate it. I'm so excited. Yes, here we go, right? We got the countdown. We got 22,000 to go. And I'm just feeling it in my body. And it feels like joy. It feels like happiness. Like it feel like if it's satisfaction, imagine that satisfaction growing in your body and imagine it outside of the body and just being like, yes. And imagine the appreciation, imagine the joy, imagine the thank you, thank you, thank you. It's already mine. It's already done. It's already here. Vision it, like imagine it, like all the deposits of like coming into your bank account, deposit, 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 all the people saying, I need in, sign me up. Wow, I love this thing that you wrote in Upwork. I need to work with you. Or wow, it's so amazing, your Reiki touched my heart, I need to be in it. Like imagine how that feels in your body. Keep bringing this up in your body and like expand it out of the body, expand it so big that it's not only just in your body, it's in the bigger part of you and it's expanded throughout the bigger part of you. And just amp it up even more and feel it more. If it's joy, put a smile on your face. If it's satisfaction, maybe it's a little smirk or a grin, whatever that feels like in your body, like chest out, shoulders back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. Because what you get to know is that you are one with money. Money is you. You're one with money. Money is one with you. If you know that your divinity and your God and your God consciousness and you're one with the earth, that means money is energy. You're one with it. There's no separation. It's not on pedestals. You don't admire, like, oh, she makes more than me, so I need to like put her on a pedestal. No, you walk side by side. We work in a circle. There's no pedestals. And so tap into that feeling. And I want you to do that consistently throughout your day because this is going to be the most amazing month, especially financially, of your life. And I say it, so it is. Okay.